Thanks, grace of heaven, virtues of masters, grand predecessors, transmitters, lecturers, and everyone here to give me this opportunity to practice to speak of today's topic. And today's topic is the three mainstays of social orders and five constant virtues. Can you see? So, just an introduction. So after we receive Tao, in order to attain heaven's Tao, one must practice human's Tao. So we need to cultivate our internal virtues and external merits and practice them in our daily lives, so we can attain the realization of our true self. To cultivate virtues and merits, we need to practice human Tao, which includes moral principles and ethics. The heavenly Tao can only be achieved after our completion of human Tao. Therefore, to practice human Tao means to fulfill our basic duties in life, such as cleaning the house, taking care of our health, loving and respecting our parents, etc. Tao is practiced in our daily trivial routines. If we do not love our parents and siblings, then we will not truly practice human Tao, let alone attaining heavenly Tao. So the relationship between people is like a one big net. In the society, if we want this net to be firm and long-lasting, there must be a main rope supporting the whole structure so that smaller ropes can count on them. The three cardinal guys are those main ropes. Cardinal. Okay. All right. To maintain the familial and social orders. According to Confucianism, in order to maintain social orders, one needs to follow the three cardinal guides and five constant virtues. They are the moral standards that our ancestors passed down to us to help us maintain familial and social orders. These standards conform the universe principles and are blessed by God and Buddhas. During the 500 years of Chinese history, those 5,000 Chinese histories, those who follow and practice these principles have been able to build prosperity, wealth, virtuous families. Those who violate the standards will see their wealth diminish and their families shrink. We live in this physical world with Tao and demons coexist. Good and evil go hand in hand. Just as saying, families that practice benevolence have plenty of fortunes to pass down to their future generations, whereas those who do evil leave endless retribution for their descendants to encounter. These principles and ethics are the essential parts of traditional culture bestowed by heaven, which are the basis of human civilizations, such as humans should comply with the arrangement of nature and behave accordingly. As the anchor of the society, each family should ensure its healthy growth and maintain a sustainable existence. Observing the moral standards will enable both husband and wife to keep calm amid the chaotic around them, enjoy each other, and live harmonious life. History has proven that ignoring moral principles will lead to the destruction of families. which is the building block upon which the whole of the society rests. So the three cardinal guides are superior guides the subordinate, father guides the son, husband guides wife. As a superior, the relationship between superior and subordinate should be based on benevolence and loyalty. One should follow the moral principles and ethics, then his people will follow. The whole nation will spontaneously be in good order and in harmony. One should choose his officials based on the measure of moral principles and ethics. Then the people will naturally obey. Following moral principles and ethics should be indispensable virtue for everyone. If everyone follow these principles, then both the rulers and subordinates will share common interests in unity and harmony. For example, if a CEO or a manager of a company can be righteous, just, kind, and to his employees, then the company will be productive and efficient. Father guides son. There's a Chinese saying, the father is the master of the family. As a master, a father should be good model for the whole family by constantly correcting himself. Okay, so as a father, the master of the family, he should be frugal in his living expense, so he can teach his children the value of money. He should fulfill his filial piety duties to his aging parents, to love, respect, take good care of, and honor his parents. He should always be polite and kind to others. He should use moral principles and ethics as guidelines to teach the whole family. So the next is husband guides the wife. In many cultures, the husband's opinion generally carries more weight and therefore plays more important roles than his wife's opinions. The husband should always be fair and morally principled with his wife. The relationship between husband and wife should always contain propriety. He should be filial to his parents and work hard for his family so that his wife can follow his example. Five constants virtue. The five virtues are described as being constant because they are unchanging truth of the universe, regardless of time and place. These virtues do not change whether we live in the peaceful or chaotic world. It is constant because everyone has conscience within each of us. This conscience is the Tao within us. It is our Buddha nature. When our conscience is manifested, the five constant virtues are naturally expressed. They are our innate virtues. These virtues are not something that we can be learned at school or in the society. They are equivalent to five precepts in Buddha's teachings, such that benevolence is, when a person is benevolent, they do not kill. When a person is righteousness, they do not steal. When a person with propriety, they will be chaste. When a person with wisdom, they will not do drugs or drink alcohol. When a person has faith, trust, sincerity, they will not lie. So I did this translation from Chinese. It's not very good, so bear with me. So it's 18 Matriarch's merciful words. She said that we should follow the example of Holy Teacher Jigun's selfless heart, a fair heart, a heavenly heart to handle all affairs, which is not to use authority to have personal gains. If we commit such acts, we are being disrespectful to our teacher. Then how can we have a heart of respectfulness of our teacher and value the preciousness of Tao? We must not build our happiness on top of other people's sufferings. Harming others is harming ourselves. The fourth book says, do not do to others what you would not have them do to you. So the five constants, the first one is the benevolent. Benevolent is represented by wood, compassion, mercy. It is the first and most important virtue among the five constants. It manifests itself in the inner hearts, in love and compassion for people, and in avoiding harm or envy towards anyone. It is the ability for us to feel others and be considerate of others, to be tolerant and have sympathy and empathy, to be able to forgive. Okay. The benevolence towards oneself is to avoid killing and adopt vegetarian diets, to put ourselves in other people's positions, to lessen material desires and get rid of our bad habits and temperaments. When these needs are met, our brain shifts into a responsive mode in which our body repairs and refills itself. We will feel peacefulness, happy and loving. Benevolence towards others reduce quarrel and build trust. To respect and love one's parents and children, as well as parents and children of others. Benevolence within and between nations promotes rules of law, educates children, feeds the hungry, support human rights, offer humanitarian aids, work for peace. So in the old days, the ancient emperors used the benevolent and compassionate hearts to rule their countries and their people. As a result, their people were in harmony with each other, and their dynasty lasted much longer. Such as the earliest dynasty, Chinese dynasty, Xia, San, Zhou. Xia dynasty lasted 400 years, San dynasty lasted 600 years, and Zhou dynasty lasted 800 years. So benevolence is good for every individual's relationships, nation, and the world as a whole. Lao Tzu says, a leader is best when people barely know that he exists. He is the teacher who succeeds without taking credit. And because credit is not taken, credit is received. So the next virtue is the righteousness, justice. It's represented by metal, acting in accord with Tao or moral laws, moral principles, free from guilt or sins, benefit all sentient beings without motives, be fair, impartial, just, and honorable. Self-restraint to resist temptations, respect the seniors and lead the juniors, demand rational thinking and actions, to preserve one's integrity. So as a righteous person, rather than harming others in order to benefit ourselves, we should sacrifice ourselves while doing what is righteous. We should never hesitate doing the right thing. Okay, and there's a Chinese saying, 有意走遍全世界，没意走就走不通. meaning that righteous persons, one can travel across the country. Without righteousness, it will be hard for him to travel. Okay. Yeah, so, I guess when we are upright person, then people will, doesn't give us a hard times, and we can, get around easier. Versus as we are not upright person, then, we're going to encounter a lot of obstacles while we travel. Yeah. So next is propriety, represented by fire, proper etiquettes, courtesies, and ritual. To do what is proper and appropriate, to respect and be modest to others. In Saint Buddha's teachings, we are oneness with the universe. Therefore, we should always be modest and respect all things and all beings in the universe. Right? So, in the Chinese Emperor Han Wudi of Han Dynasty, right? He used Confucianism's teaching of propriety to rule his countries. So as a result, his country was peaceful and the people were harmonious among each other. Okay, so with propriety at heart, we will naturally show our proper attitudes and expressions. At the same time, we will watch our words and behaviors. Everything we do should be fair and reasonable in every aspect. So, with propriety, we will love and respect the holy teachers and practice Tao, yield to elders, and honor the able and virtuous. With propriety, we will be modest and never show off. We will never criticize others' shortcomings and claim no credits for our service. So, why there is so many calamities in the society? It's because there's a lack of propriety within family members, such as children nowadays addressing their parents by their names, treating their parents as their equals, which that could lead to breakup of a family. When propriety is lacking, people tend to have defiled thoughts, which can lead to father does not act as a father, son do not fulfill their filial duties as a son, and that can lead to destruction and chaos in the society. Okay. So, with practice of propriety, we can uphold ourselves together, maintain a healthy mind and body, and protect our families, neighbors, and our countries and the world, and the whole wide world. Okay. To have a harmonious family, we should always maintain propriety, especially between father and son, husband and wife, and siblings. When we are truly sincere, what we manifest is propriety. Having a respectful heart is manifestation of propriety. Thus, practicing propriety is to uncover our respectful heart. Okay, so next is the wisdom. Wisdom is represented by water. It's our innate awareness by which one judges right and wrong, good and evil. True wisdom comes from our Buddha nature. We need to restore our true natures to discover it. So instead of using our human sentiments when dealing with in our daily life, we should always use our innate wisdoms to perceive all matters. If we follow our innate wisdoms, we will not deviate our thoughts, which result in bad karma. Everything we do, we should use our innate wisdoms to differentiate right from wrong. With our innate wisdoms, we will be able to understand the true meaning of life and death. We will not take things harshly, nor seek after fame and fortune. We will know that what is our true purpose of life, which is to cultivate, amend our faults, and awake our true nature. And the next is the faith, trust, sincerity, represented by earth. Faith is the center of 5 virtues. With faith, trust, sincerity, the other 4 virtues will be manifested. Faith is having confidence. It is It is virtue of honesty and honor, noble and dignified. To be trustworthy person, our words and behaviors, conducts should be comply with each other. Those who have faith, trust, or credibilities can always fulfill their promise. They are never opportunistic, wicked, or suspicious.
Specious.
No, it's wrong spelling.
Wrong spelling?
Okay. Okay. We should always comply with law of nature and keep our promise without dualistic hearts and minds, such as the 4 seasons, where the warm in the springs, hot in the summers, cool in the fall, and cold in the winter. And it's like after spring, it's always come with the summer. After summer, it's always come with the fall, and after fall, it's always winter. And they don't have a human sentiment, so they don't not come with the different orders. And then like sunrise and sunsets, without human sentiments, after sunrise is always sunset at nighttime. So a well-cultivated person should keep his words to others as well as to heavens. Therefore, we always remember our vows to God. Okay. So as a conclusion, one who perfectly fulfill the 3 relationships and manifest the 5 constant virtues are highest form of humans, a sage. The 3 cardinal guides are essential for structuring human social life, while the 5 constant virtues are the value needed to live a moral life. And there's a saying, like attracts likes. If we want to save the world from all calamities and natural disasters, we have to perfect our virtue. So in Buddhism teachings, they were saying that if we don't follow these virtues, and then we have the greed attracts the calamities in the form of water, such as flood, hurricanes. And anger attracts calamities in form of fire, such as volcano, world wars, increase of the world temperatures. Ignorance attracts calamities in form of wind, such as storm or even atomic bombs. Arrogance attracts calamity in form of earthquake, and doubt attracts calamity in form of mudslides, such as mountain falls or sinkholes. So all calamities are the cause by our deviated evil thoughts and not perfecting our virtues. Yeah, so I'm kind of rushed through my presentations so everybody can share your thoughts.
So, do you have any questions for Keri? Yes.
The second one, the righteousness, I missed out what the representation of that.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see.
Was it the wind?
Metal.
Metal.
Metal? So what does all this have to do with five elements, right?
Yeah,
Five
it's
elements.
yeah.
Has to do with the I Ching. Has to do with
It got to do with the I Ching.
Yeah, because that's how they're represented, and then we don't know the I Ching. We haven't analyzed the I Ching, but yeah, it's how they interact, and there's the what do you call it? The supporting, the relationships and
Supporting each other.
What's the other relationship? The opposite. Ke.
Ke.
Well, Ke means to restrict or to. Yeah. It just means,
Just like they were saying that the four forms, the 四象 is like the four seasons.
One
They'll
is
say.
promotes, the
Yeah,
other
one
one
promote.
restricts
Yeah.
or constrains.
But they were saying that even like to restrict is not, it doesn't mean a bad thing.
Yeah.
Just
it
like
doesn't
when a
mean that.
car starts,
Yeah.
we need to have a stop to it.
It's not it just means it doesn't promote.
Yeah.
It doesn't,
Right,
it doesn't facilitate it.
Yeah.
It doesn't, one is if one facilitates, the other doesn't facilitate. It's like one is. Yeah.
So it's like you need fire to burn the wood.
Yeah. But yeah, because it creates this balance. So
Or
every
to melt the metal,
yeah.
something like that.
Yeah, because one is like, let's say you have fire, if you have some places burning, you have to have water to out the fire, right?
So we need water to stop the
Stop the
fire
fire,
from
yeah.
spreading. So water is like ke, fire. Oh yeah, 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Control.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's really balanced.
Yeah.
It's really because the key is you have five elements, but they have to be in balance.
Right.
Right.
That's how
Yeah.
the harmonious. That's how things could work harmoniously. If they're out of balance, then you're gonna have either calamities or if within the human being you'll have illness. That's how you have illness, right? So things go out of whack, right? So the key is in nature, the things are balanced.
Right.
That's why we have the seasons, etc., etc. But that's how it works. But if it's off balance, then you can have calamities. That's how you have floods. You have droughts, or you have stuff like that.
So if our relationship is not balanced, then we're gonna cause all that calamity.
Yeah.
Right, so you can see we have all these water, fire, wind, earthquakes, mudslides, we see all of that. It's pretty common these days. So you can see why that is, right?
And I just tried to buy my home insurance the other day, and they were asking me that to add my sinkhole insurance in there because it's happening a lot around. That's what they're saying, even in Pennsylvania. So it's yeah.
I think the sincerity slide, we talk about how the season will just, evolve into another. But nowadays, sometimes we notice that there's no spring. from winter goes directly into summer. And this is not because, the heaven is not doing its way, it's its own job. It's because of what humans are doing really interfere with the operating of the whole universe. Yeah. And also talk about how this, this temperament or this virtues corresponds to different elements, the 5 elements. So when sometimes we are not like being righteous, then it can also mean that we are missing that kind of in us. Sometimes we can compensate or maybe cure or correct this by our diet, what we eat. But of course, the most fundamental solution is that we know what are the 5 constant virtues, and so we just need to try to nourish the 5 virtues in us, knowing where we are lacking, where we need to do better.
So you're saying benevolence prevents killing. Would you say it like that?
Benevolence.
Benevolence. If you're benevolent, I guess we should not kill.
Yeah.
In Buddhist teaching, that's 5戒 is the 5 五禅. Yeah.
Yeah, it corresponds.
Yeah.
So righteousness
Stealing, right?
and then
Yeah.
propriety.
Propriety.
Yeah.
Maybe
The
in,
propriety
right?
is
yeah.
lust.
Yeah, lust.
Right.
Lust
Yeah.
prevents lust.
Yeah.
Not prevents.
Yeah.
You can say, yeah.
Contains.
Control.
Controls.
You can say control.
And then wisdom is
Drinking or drugs.
Intoxicant.
Yeah, intoxicants.
sincerity is for
Do not lie.
Could you go back over you see, like it says, ignorance attacks things like cause floods and so forth, that section.
Ignorance.
To say what
Wind.
actually caused the different places that.
That's BOMB, right? Atomic bombs.
Yeah, that section.
Oh. Okay. Ignorance attracts calamities in form of earthquake.
Earthquake, though.
Yeah.
I guess this is probably where you have to study the I Ching, so that this probably comes from how the I Ching would explain things. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's,
And then,
So that's why there's in the Buddhist teaching, that's why there's so many calamities because of all these is it 5 poisons?
是五戒吗？
Greed, anger, ignorance,
Sand.
arrogance.
Right. No, that's the 5 dull vices.
vices.
五顿四, right?
五顿
The 5 dull vices.
yeah.
Doubts and arrogance.
Yes, are the calamities coming because of truly the nature, or are they coming because of what
Of our-
other people are doing to make them happen? And that would be where all the calamities
Well, yeah, I mean,
the human contribution to all this.
yeah, you can say, okay, so before humans existed, there were hurricanes, there were earthquakes. They still happen, right? But they're irrelevant. It's irrelevant because there are no humans, so it doesn't affect humans. But because humans are around and they do affect humans, then there is a relationship. There is that relationship between those events and humanity, right? So if earthquake happens and no one's around, then there is no connection But if something happens and people are around, they're affected by it, then there is a connection. You know, that's how karma, cause and effect. You know, it's all part of that. So because people are affected by these things, then there is that causal relationship. There is a causal relationship. Okay, so that's why, you know, these things happen. All right. But ultimately, it's the people's hearts and minds and their actions that change, you know, cause things to happen. Okay. I mean, it may not be apparent, you know, that there's that direct relationship, but it's there. You know, it's accumulated over time too.
Right.
Okay. So we don't, you know, right now we see, oh, you know, these people didn't do anything bad, maybe, but it was over time that, and you know, who knows. They were there. They happened to be there. You know, karma is when people are there. It's the right place, the right time, right people. Okay, so that's karma, the result of karma. Okay, so yeah, that's kind of you could say the bigger view of things. Yeah.
So I mean, we can also look at the water experiments, like. You know, if we say good things to the water, the crystal of the water will turn out really nice. And then if we say bad things to and we can do an experiment at home, and then we say bad things to the water, and the water will turn out really ugly. And what that says, so our thoughts, our words, our conduct will affect the whole universe.
Yeah, there's been some scientific study. This Japanese researcher did those experiments, right? So it's, yeah, obviously our mind, because it's the Buddha nature, okay? The Buddha nature is one with everything, can affect everything, okay? So the outcome of things. So especially in terms of matter, the forms, right? It can affect how they become, right? So that's why the Buddha's, you know, whatever is in our heart and mind, that determines what the result is. So that's why it's very important that we have the proper heart and mind, proper view of everything, and we follow that. Then, you know, the outcome would be, you know, naturally it'd be good. Okay.